What's up, guys? This is Astranox. We have aespa GISELLE. This is going to be a big single target damage dealing hero. I'm going to be summoning her on my 4th account here. And this hero, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts about her. I'll be building her, bringing her to plus 15 skill ups, putting gear on her. My thoughts, my summoning session, all this stuff will be right after this. This video is brought to you by Amazon Appstore and Amazon Coins. If you're going to spend for ae-GISELLE, you should do so by using Amazon Coins. You can save up to 20% on in-game purchases from games who are on the Amazon App Store. The great news is that Epic 7 is now available on it, and you can start using Amazon Coins to straight up get more out of what you're usually spending or end up with more spare cash instead. It's a win-win scenario. It's very easy to get the best savings on the Amazon App Store and Epic 7. Just go down below and use my link and follow the instructions. If you use my link below, it helps me but also allows you to still get the best possible discounts. You can get up to 20% off, which is really awesome. Get a full 20% discount if you buy 50k coins. If you buy 10,000 Amazon coins for $82, they will give you $100 in the game, and so on, with a bunch of discounts for different budgets. It's really easy to start saving. There's just 3 steps. 1. Get your Amazon coins. 2. Get Epic 7 from the Amazon App Store on your favorite device, Android phone or tablet, or even better, get Amazon App Store now on Windows 11 and play Epic 7 directly from your PC easily with no complications. Currently available for the US and then globally. That's awesome. Once you've done that, just log into Epic 7 through the Amazon App Store. Just as easy as that. Why pay the full amount when you can get up to a nice 20% discount? There's really no reason not to use this method when it comes down to spending money in Epic 7. Check out my link in the description or comments section down below. Get Amazon App Store, get some Amazon coins, and start saving now. Alright, it is time for me to get her. Will I join the 121 club? Would I get her artifact before getting GISELLE? Well, let's find out here real quick. Frame of Light, this artifact, yeah, it works hand in hand with a single target damage build for any mage. And also, if you defeat the target, you will get 10 souls at the start of the next turn. But this can only be activated once. It is definitely interesting. The souls, they're happening later. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there might be Bellion. You take Bellion out, and then you get the souls at the start of the next turn. Technically, it should be working, right? So yeah, GISELLE, she's going to deal a ton of damage, I feel like, especially because she's got Soul Burn increasing the damage on the skill number 1. So that is going to be yeah, pretty big damage increase, hopefully. It needs to be tested, right? And then also the cool thing is that if you use any type of combatiness pushing, she's actually getting 50% more out of that. So you could be building her slower, which means, well, she's going to be hitting harder, and she has a higher chance to be successful in defeating the target, which will work with her artifact, and that's going to be really good. And also, if you defeat the target, get an extra turn. So skill 3 into the skill number 1, I feel like you could potentially take out 2 heroes. She's a mage, she can wear her own artifact if you have other mage or mages in the team. I mean, you can just build soul save them for herself to soul burn the skill number 1. So let's get her here. Let's do some X10 pulls and let's see what actually happens. Let's see. So good luck to everyone. Bit late on this video. I had a bunch of stuff to take care of. But here, I can't skip, guys. I don't know what it is going to be. Let's see. Okay, maybe her artifact. Maybe it's someone else's artifact. Let's find out what it is. It's a scepter. Okay, I mean, it's a good one, right? Can't complain. The luck could be terrible, and maybe I would have ended up getting nothing. A bunch of 3-star artifacts, heroes, at least, 5-star. Not too bad. Bunch of 4-star, artifact, hero. So that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, GISELLE, on this 4th account, I'm going to be able to build her slow. I might be bringing double combatiness pushers in the team, right? So I could have my initial one, could be a Roside, followed up with like an Edda, but I might not want to have a hero like Edda go before GISELLE, because then the problem is that Edda might be wiping out the enemy team or dealing too much damage to them. So I kind of want to have GISELLE go second, as a first damage dealer, so we can really showcase, see her damage and all that good stuff. And I might go into like doing a combo of Rosine into Rose into Giselle. She does have attack buff, but it happens after the damage, because if she, I can't skip this, if you actually got attack buff before, then they would have to make the multiplier much worse on the skill number 3, because she would be self-sufficient. But since it's happening after, then that skill 3 could be hitting real hard. It ignores damage sharing as well. Cradle of Life, I mean, getting a bunch of 5-star artifacts, that's pretty nice. Tagil's Ancient Book, we got two of them. Two of them, that's good. I already have, I don't know if I have 2 fully built on this account. Maybe. But it's always good to have like 3, 4 of them fully maxed out. That thing is OP. And just be stacking that and do pretty good for yourself in a control environment. Now, where are we at? We still have quite a few summons to do. So yeah, Giselle, she's got a lot of damage potential with that skill number 1. 10 souls, increasing the damage of that S1, boosting the combat strength of the highest attacker in the team beside herself. So you could be running like a double damage dealing hero setup. You could be going like heavy on the single target damage. So you don't have to worry about all these things that can counter heroes that attack everyone. Like, of course, counter set Elbrus could be dangerous because you could be wiped out from that. You could also not have to worry about Elena. Triggering an Elena could be dangerous. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about. So yeah, single target damage, you're focusing that damage on the heroes that are the most deadly. Yes, it does require some knowledge, more knowledge about the game, because you need to know which heroes are actually the most dangerous ones so you can pick them out one by one, right? Because if you just troll, you're cleaving the enemy, you're throwing a bunch of damage that hits their whole team, then, you know, it's pretty, you don't need to think. You don't need to think. You just, like, throw the damage, and that's it. If you're able to wipe them out with Defense Break, it's really easy. But landing Defense Break is not an easy thing. So when you're able to do single target damage and you hit real hard and it's consistent, reliable, then you can do some great things out of that. Now, she does get 50% more CR pushing, so even if you're fighting against a Politis and you're getting some type of CR pushing on your team without using a non-attack skill, maybe it's an attack skill that boosts the combat shrewdness, well, she will be getting more combat shrewdness than normal heroes versus a Politis. It's still going to be crippled, but at least if you have her built slower, she's still going to be able to, if you're speed tuning your team, she's gonna, you know, show up in the order she's supposed to be doing, and like the enemy Politis might not be able to cut in between. Okay, let's do the guarantee single summon here, and that currency they're giving is pretty cool. But I mean, like, 4 limited 4-star hero, it's pretty rough, guys. Like, as a free-to-play player, you need to watch out and be sure that you're summoning for your playstyle. So if you're into damage, right, like Giselle might be it. Giselle, well, I need to showcase her.
I'm sure we can be great friends.
I don't have my sound on. I don't know if she finished, you know, saying her line, but let's just go ahead here and proceed. The thing is, guys, I'm actually going to summon for another Giselle. I don't even have enough to dogos, like to 6-star her, right? So I didn't even get her artifact. So I might be able to actually end up getting her artifact that way. I won't have to use Powder of Knowledge. So let's go right ahead here and do a bunch of extend, right? Let's just do that, and hopefully okay, come on, baby. Is that the one? Is it? Is it the limited? Yes, Frame of Light. Okay, so 1 copy, it's 16% when it's maxed out. So yeah, 12%. 12%. That's pretty solid. I mean, it's not a portrait of the saviors, but it's always activated, right, on a single target attack, so you don't have to worry if they're under 50% HP. And there's that sweet 10 souls that you're going to be able to get on the next turn. So like I said, you might be able to deal with a billion and then you get the souls later because she's out of the picture. So that could be one way to go about it, right? You use Giselle and you pop that billion. Hopefully the damage is high enough so you can pull that off, because it's very important. It's very important that you defeat the target with the skill number 3 because you triggered the extra turn, right? At least you ignore damage sharing, and then if you don't have any attack buffer, that's fine because she's self-sufficient with the skill number 3. But Skill 3, I'm pretty sure you're gonna require an attack buff to make the one-shot happen there. Unless they have a really squishy hero that you can just pop, right? Maybe they have that one hero that's like loaded with all their speed and they're trying to disrupt your team. I mean, maybe you outspeed a team that has a Lua, you're trying to outspeed a team that has a Conqueror Lilias. Well, Conqueror Lilias is probably gonna be able to take the damage of skill 3 without you having an attack buff. So you gotta be careful about this stuff. Okay, let's continue here. So, in terms of luck, there's a bunch of 5-star artifacts, and we got hurt. So, to be honest, I've seen much worse summoning sessions. It's still rough, though. It's still rough. Imagine you're a free-to-play player, you're trying to get a bunch of 5-star limited heroes back-to-back banners. Yeah, you gotta be real smart about that. Okay, we're a bit over halfway through here. In terms of building her, you don't really need a speed set on her. She's getting 50% more CR pushing compared to the rest of your team, so building her slow with a pure damage build, I mean, yeah, you could do something like a rage set on her, right? You could go like Rage Tauren. You want to like really push the damage, but you have to make sure there's a debuff on the enemy. But that's going to be more for a control environment. You want to be using her in RTA, then you might have to do something like an attack set, right? Destruction set, something that is going to be more reliable. Well, it's okay. I got her artifact, I guess. And I am dry in Covenant Bookmark. So I got her before the pity. So that's good. That's good. Right? Like I'm dry on Covenant Bookmarks across like all my accounts. I have to be doing Secret Shop refresh. Actually, I do have Covenant Bookmarks on my 5th account. So yeah, never mind that. But still, I mean, that's 4 accounts that are dry in bookmarks. So I have to use, buy the bookmarks using Skystones in the shop, or I have to do Secret Shop refreshes, which is not something I'm going to be doing because that is pretty painful. So yeah, no thanks. Okay, so we got 2 copies of her. We got the artifact, so we can test all that stuff out. Let me make some space, grab both of the copy, both Giselles, and we'll start to power her up. Here we are. Let's do it up here. Okay, nice. And her artifact is right here. Now, let's see what we can do with the gear that I have on this 4th account, which, as you can see, I have a lot of resources. Let's just see what kind of stats I'm able to bring her at. And in terms of imprint, yes, you know, when you're going for imprints, just enabling the team imprint, you're just gonna get more value out of that. It's not a rush, guys. Like you don't need to get so many copies with like 4 limited hero banners. Like forget about it as free to play. Like you're not gonna go and just like work on all these imprints unless you want to just dry yourself out of resources. Let's say you're holding as many resources as I have, like over 100,000 Skystones. Yeah, I could go ham, you know, triple S all these limited heroes, but yeah, there's always going to be the next thing that is going to be more shiny, more better at the time, and that's the way it works. Okay, so Giselle, here we go. Level up, not fully, but this, and there we go. I mean, I got an extra copy just because I want to have the 6-star easily here. I already used the bottle on this account too that I had. Okay, so we have an imprint, so I'll just leave it like that, right? And there we go. Well, that's pretty clutch on the penguins. I wouldn't use the 3rd ones; those you sell for silver transmit stone. That is just more efficient there. You do get some gold, but it's really mostly about the silver transmit stones, right? Because you guys know that's pretty useful. So awakening time here. Looks like we're good in terms of catalysts. What do we get out of these awakenings? So crit is very nice, of course. A bunch of offense. Are we getting some more speed? But to be honest, the speed is not that big of a deal. Here we're getting the extra turn. So that's super important, of course. I mean, yeah, awakening is a very basic stuff. This needs to be done. Crit damage, oh yeah. Well, that's definitely solid to have. With a limit of 350% crit damage. Well, that 10% can get us that much closer to that limit. You can break that limit with special crit damage artifacts. In the battle, it actually works. So yeah, here we go with Max Awakening. Let's check her base stats real quick. So of course, health-wise, it is low for mages. They always have a bunch more defense compared to the health. The speed is low, which is fine because this thing right here is allowing us to get more combationess push. So that's going to be fine. It's going to be fine as long as she's hard hitting with that almost 1300 attack, 27% crit chance. So that is real sweet with 160% crit damage. She going to be hitting hard. If her multipliers hit hard, which I'm assuming they do hit hard, and you got the soul burn on S1, which is spammable, right? That's going to be interesting. And then there's that thing, that multiplier. Damage dealt increases proportional to the target's current health ratio. So I don't know what the multiplier is like on this hero, what they're like, but is it like the more health they have, the harder she hits, or is it the? It might be that, because usually if their health, the lower it is, the more damage you do. The wording is different. It's more specific to, yeah, like it's saying like you're dealing more damage if the target has less health or something like that along those lines. So skill ups, yeah. So she's got some solid stats. Now in terms of priority, right? You need to make the one shot happen on the skill number 3. I mean, if you're about that turn 1 and 2, which is usually the case when you're going for a high speed team, you want to initiate and start to take them apart, disrupt them, do all kind of chaos against the enemy. Well, yeah. No, you ignore damage sharing, and the attack buff is nice. It sets her up nicely for the Soulburn S1. Yeah, big damage. Potentially, she could take out 2 heroes, which could be pretty ridiculous. But like I said, not having an attack buff for using skill 3 could be a big gamble there if they don't have a squishy hero on their team. So yeah, and here dispel debuff effect chance. If you initiate, a lot of cases you won't have to worry about having a debuff, right? The start of the turn has up to 100% chance to dispel 1 debuff. That's nice, but you can skip that. You can skip that early on. Now, if you're confident about doing the one shot with the skill number 3, then by all means go with only 3 skill up initially because you're real low on Mola, right? You're strapped in that department, but you should give a higher priority on the skill number 3 compared to the skill number 1. It just makes complete sense, even though the soul burn on skill 1 is there to deal more damage, but that sweet extra turn, man, that's potentially 2 heroes dropping, because that skill 1 after you have, if you didn't have a tag buff and you're able to take out a squishy hero that they have, maybe they have a disruptor, right? They have a Lua, right? They have a Fairy Tale Tenebria, like a high speed hero that is going to be built squishy because they went pure speed on that hero, right? Then you're going to be able to just drop that hero without attack buff, and then you have it for the skill 1. And that you could probably take out a tanky hero with the skill number 1. Who knows? I need to test it, right? Who knows? So yeah, more priority on that skill 3. So I would do something like this. And then of course, maybe you can bring them up evenly, sort of deal. But I would probably just max out skill 3 ASAP. Because another thing is that the CR pushing for the ally with the highest stack beside herself is the +4 here. So not that big of a deal, right? You have to go +4 and then +5 to see the damage increase here. So I think it's like 3 if you're able to make the one shot with skill 3. Um, or you would just have to invest like as much as possible in skill 3 without powering up S1 and S2, something like that. Something along the lines, right? So yeah, and then I'll finish with those passives here. I mean, the chance to remove a debuff on that passive. So now for her build, I'll be putting some gear on her. We'll see what kind of stats I'll have. I'll give you guys my thoughts about different builds you could be running for her, and yeah. So I'll be doing that, and I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so I finally have the gear for Giselle. My god, I didn't even have 80% crit chance. It was pretty rough getting her on Destruction Penetration set, because Penetration set will just give you so much more damage as a single target damaging hero, right? So for the 4-piece, you could be going with an attack set. You don't need to go with Destruction, especially if you have a lot of crit damage on your gear. You're going to be going with crit damage main stat neck. You're probably going to be able to hit the cap, and you don't want to be above 350% crit damage. You're just going to be wasting your stats, right? So here is every single piece of gear that I have. But yes, destruction, attack set. You could be going with speed set. I feel like she needs more speed, guys. She needs to be going first. If you're running like 2 attack damage base heroes in the team, right? You need to have her go first, because then you don't need to have an attack buffer beside herself for your second attack base hero. Because with her skill number 3, she's going to be able to provide attack buff for that hero. Also, if you defeat someone with skill 3, which is like super important, right? You defeat someone with Frame of Light, then you follow up with the skill number 1, Soul Burn. Maybe you can defeat a second hero, but it's more about softening up a hero and also pushing the combatriveness of the ally with the highest attack in the team beside herself. So 15% combatriveness push, that is pretty sweet, because you might already have 1 or 2 combatriveness booster, to get Giselle to go. So you could be building that second attack based damage dealer with maybe less speed and more damage, more survivability or something like that. So I feel like this combo is going to be pretty deadly, right? That skill 3 into the skill number 1. Now, keep in mind, in your build, if you're struggling and you cannot do the one shot, then don't go with Frame of Light, especially if you just have 1 copy. Yes, the 10 souls at the start of the next turn could be nice versus Bellion or something like that to get your souls going, but I think that going for the one shot is way more important. So maybe Portrait of the Saviors will just allow you to do more one shots, right? Or you could be going with the Guild War Unity artifact, so you can get some hit chance as well, and you don't need to worry about how much health they have to get the damage increase, right? Now the thing is, you could be going with another artifact that just boosts her damage more so than Frame of Light. But I feel like this hero is going to be able to do pretty well. You just need to be able to down someone with skill 3. Might not be the easiest of things to do, especially if you can't get an attack buff on her. So I'm planning to actually have an attack buffer in the team. So the attack buff for the ally with the highest attack is not going to be so important, because I'm already going to be running an attack buffer. But let's say you're running some type of like attack buff. To be honest, like if you run like a thief with Silver Rain, that is an attack buff right there. And you could be running Giselle with the highest attack part of the team, and you know that the attack buff will go on the second highest attacker in the team, because it cannot target herself, right? It cannot target herself. And also with the combativeness push, it's the same deal. So it will affect, even if she has the highest attack, it will affect the ally, a second one with the most attack. So it should be all good. If you need extra bit of damage, I don't think the Imprint Concentration is that big of a deal, unless you got this thing at triple S. I mean, it's not that much damage, but every bit counts. I guess if you're trying to land a one shot, the skill ups is just so important if you're trying to do a one shot, right? The fact that she ignores, damage sharing effect, that's going to be really helpful. But man, I can't stress this enough. If you can't do the one shot, what is the purpose of this hero, basically, right? So yeah, I can't wait to showcase her, guys. Let us know the way you have your Giselle built. How does she perform for you? Let us know about your luck getting Giselle and her artifact, Frame of Light, in the comment section. But I feel like pretty good with these stats. The only problem with my build is really the speed. 144. I don't think it's going to be enough. even if she gets 50% more combat readiness from a CR push, I feel like that might not be enough. I might have to switch the boots for speed main stats or somehow get more speed substats on my gear. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes in the showcase, and I might just be rocking a different set of gear. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. That's it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.